the way you calculate from the way we calculate is a little different. So we start from the first day of your last menstrual period, or your last normal menstrual period. That's the first day. Hey, and welcome today, and welcome to my bed with Dr. K. And today I want to talk to that pregnant mama who has just discovered, whoa, congratulations, I have a baby, I have a small thing growing inside me, and that is the one I'm talking to. Not excluding Baba, the one who is the father to the baby, because this is also very important to you all. And this is about doctor's visit and when to visit your doctor. So myself, I usually advise people that they should start seeing their doctor before they get pregnant. But in case you did not do that, once you get that positive pregnancy test, then get to see a doctor, particularly a gynecologist, because we are the ones who take care of your pregnancy, take you through your journey. We are with you throughout, all the way till when you get your healthy baby. And that's the whole point of this process. So I would say that you should come, go to the doctor's office the first time, once you get your positive result. And when you go to the doctor, you've picked a gynecologist, you know where they are. Make sure that they're also within your vicinity, or where you can reach them very easily, because that's a choice you need to make, not someone who's very far away from you, someone who's not able to be available maybe in the time that you need to see them. You need to pick someone who's close to you, someone you can be able to reach easily, and someone who you relate with, whether it's a male or a female. It doesn't matter. All gynecologists have experience in maternal issues. So once you see your doctor, the first thing your doctor will do for you will get a full history from you. They will need to know your name, your age, because age matters in pregnancy. They need to know where you come from, whether you come from very far, where you're close to the hospital. They also need to know what kind of experience you're having, how many weeks you are. They will probably ask you about your last menstrual period, and that last menstrual period will tell us how many weeks the pregnancy is. Sometimes you usually calculate on your own, but the way you calculate from the way we calculate is a little different. So we start from the first day of your last menstrual period, or your last normal menstrual period. That's the first day. So from that, we calculate how many number of weeks you've been pregnant. So I know you might be calculating 4 weeks, because you calculated from the day you had intercourse or sex, but we don't count from that time. We count from the first day of your last period, so that we can have a good calculation for your gestational age. It's called the gestational age. Sorry for the difficult words, but you hear that a lot once you go to the doctor's office. Then the next thing your doctor will do, they will examine you. They will check your abdomen. They will check your breast, because once we meet you the first time, we want to know, are you able to breastfeed this baby once the baby is out? We don't want a situation where your breast, when we examine you, we don't examine you, and when you deliver your baby, you have flat nipples or you have inverted nipples. Those are things that we look at the first visit of when you come for your first visit. So breast examination will be done, an abdominal examination will be done. So we want to find out, is there any issue inside here that we should be aware about? Or if your pregnancy is far gone, we can be able to calculate from just an examination and tell you, you're at 16 weeks, you're at 20 weeks, you're at 32 weeks, depending on your gestational age. Usually it goes along with your first day of your last menstrual period. The other thing your doctor will probably do they will run some tests. They will check your level of your HB, that is your blood level, where it has reached, to see whether there's anemia or not. Anemia is very common in pregnancy, so that's why we check for anemia. What happens with anemia is that your baby might also develop anemia if we do not sort out your blood level during pregnancy. You'll find sometimes you'll also check for not sometimes, all the time, we'll check for that, and whether you have anemia or not. We will check whether your blood group, what your blood group is, because there's a blood group positive and the blood group negative. None of them is a disease. Blood group is just the way you are. Is this the way your face is the way it is, or your hand is the way it is? Your blood group can either be positive or negative. There are issues that come about with a negative blood group type because what happens is your baby will probably be a positive, and if your body is not used to a positive blood group inside it, it might fight that baby up to death. So that's why we check for your blood group. I know we'll discuss about rhesus later on. I will definitely tell you what really goes on in your body. And then the other test that we do is for infections like HIV, which can be transmitted to your baby if not treated on time. There's syphilis, also can be transmitted to your baby if not treated on time. We also check your, in some places we check for malaria, like in places like in the Lake region, in some northern parts of Kenya. Those places we have to test for malaria. Why? Because malaria can kill you and your baby. The other thing we have to test for is your blood sugar level. As I've mentioned, that if you are diabetic, or if you have family history of diabetes, or if you've had diabetes in your previous pregnancies, then there's a chance of you getting diabetic complications during this pregnancy. And diabetes complications can go up to fetal death. And that's what we try to avoid on your first visit. There's so many tests that we do depending on your situation. We'll check your blood pressure, your weight, your some people will do the height to get something called a body mass index, and all those things are in your first visit. It would be important to note that your doctor, as much as they've done a lab work and a physical examination, they will need to put everyone on a supplement called folic acid. I've mentioned folic acid and I will continue mentioning folic acid because it's the one most important nutritional supplement that you need in your pregnancy. Iron is also very important, but we don't necessarily give it at the beginning, because for those who've experienced iron in pregnancy, at the beginning of pregnancy, they will say the nausea, the smell of iron is horrible. So we put you on iron supplement probably from the 2nd to the 3rd trimester, depending on how you're able to tolerate it. For those ones with anemia, we might have to give you iron even before, but we try to look for formulations that are good, that might not give you so much nausea as compared to others. So these two supplements are very, very important. Others are like calcium. We give some of you junior aspirin, depending on whether they have a chance of developing high blood pressure in pregnancy. So those things are very important. It's like the baseline. Counseling will also be there. We'll talk about your probable when you should deliver, so you have an idea. I should be delivering at this time, so that even if you are lost to follow up, you can be able to go to any other hospital and you say, I know the date I was supposed to deliver should be on this day. So that's very important. There's another thing that you will not miss. If you've come to the hospital and you are anything, if you've started feeling your fetal movements, or you're anything above 16 weeks, you will have an injection called a tetanus injection. If it's your first time, you will get one now and that second one after 4 weeks. If not, if you've gotten 2 previous ones, you'll only get 1 tetanus shot. So it's important for you to know and understand that these things will have supplements, tetanus injection, examination, lab works, and then of course birth plan, which is when you decide I'm going to deliver. Even at the beginning, even at 4 weeks, 6 weeks, you should be able to say, I'll deliver at this hospital. So it's called a birth plan. You know where you will deliver, and you should know if there's any emergency signs that you need to know that will bring you back to the hospital. So I'll talk about the things that will make you come back to the hospital. Those are the danger signs, the things that will alarm you and tell you, Papa, I need to go back to the hospital. So I'll talk about that in the next video. For those who are visiting their doctor, it's good to know that there are those things that will be done: the lab test, the examination, the supplements, the tetanus injection, the re-examination, ultrasounds that will be done during your visits. Thank you and welcome again from Dr. K.